Chapter 4. An Open Book. I rubbed my eyes, struggling to wake. Dad? I sat bolt upright. Or, at least I tried to. I was on the settee, still dressed, the sheepskin blanket twisted around me. It was only just getting dark outside. The little pendulum of the clock on the mantelpiece clicked from side to side, and I tried to focus on its luminous Roman numerals. Nearly 7 a.m. I untangled myself from the blanket and rushed to the window in a total panic that Mum and Dad could have arrived home whilst I was asleep and that I'd missed them coming in. I pulled back the curtains and rubbed the frost from the inside of the glass. Our car still wasn't back. I slumped down on the settee, worried, like a brick in the bottom of my stomach. For a minute I wondered if I'd dreamt about finding the message in the bucket. Then I saw the head torch on the floor by my damp trainers, and I knew it had been for real. My brain felt too fuzzy to think much about the clue. I felt so cold suddenly. The fire was nearly dead, just bright specks of ash in the grate. I shoved another log and jabbed it to life with the poker. The little flames danced up along the smoking wood. Behind, flecks of soot glowed red, making face shapes, and the horseshoes nailed to the brickwork glinted in the light. I stared at the photographs lined up along the mantelpiece, searching for the ones of Dad. There was one of Dad about my age, grinning and holding a model warplane. Dad on a bike too big for him. Dad in the garden with a spade. The clock carried on its ticking like it was counting down to something. I huddled under my blanket and shut my eyes, but all I could see was Dad alone in a room with thick iron bars instead of a door. Don't be stupid, I told myself. He'll be back any time. But I just couldn't get the image out of my head. There was the sound of a car outside. At last I leapt up and rushed to the window. Yes, Mum was back. Dad? I pressed my face right up against the glass so my skin went numb, trying to see. But only Mum got out. She stood at the front door as I opened it. Her face was grey, ghostly colour. She came forward into the hallway and hugged me so it hurt. We stood like that in the cold. We know that. Stood there in the cold, and then Hannah trampled down the stairs in her pyjamas, the one with the I am sweet 17 in silver sequins on the front, and just so long as I get my lion on the back. Her long hair messed up so that the red dye bits stuck out all over. One pulled her away from me and shook her head like flies were buzzing around it. She looked exhausted, confused. They won't let me see him, she said. I told his solicitor we've got rights, but Mr. Edwards said that the law has changed recently, and she pulled off her hat, unwound her scarf and shook her coat on the floor. I hung the clothes over the back of the chair as we followed her into the kitchen, and she started opening cupboards and dumping food onto the table. A jar of peanut butter, jam, a loaf of bread. Bones looked up at her, his stumpy tail thumping on the floor tiles and his nose twitching. Mum walked around the kitchen like she was in robot mode or on autopilot, and for some weird reason, that thing they tell you on planes came into my head. Those travelling with children, put on your own oxygen mask before helping with theirs. All I know is, she said, he's been arrested and he's been held for questioning. Held for questioning? What did that mean? For some stupid reason, I imagined Dad with a bumper quiz book from my bedroom in front of him, stooped over the table with a pen and paper, a strict-looking special service man standing close by with a stopwatch. He'll be out by Sunday though, won't he? I said, because it was my birthday on Sunday and I'd be 13, and it was the only thing I could think about. But it was a really lame thing to come out with, because I shouldn't be thinking about my birthday. I shouldn't even be having a birthday. None of that was important anymore, not with Dad being held for questioning. What's the charge, Mum? Hannah said. The solicitor must have told you what he's been arrested for. That's not illegal. That's not legal. I just did lessons on police powers at college, so I know how it works. Mum put a raft of way too much bread in the grill pan and lit the gas with the match. It's what I've said. They've arrested him so they can question him. He's not actually been charged with anything yet. Okay, Mum, I get that. Don't treat us like we're 5. Tell us what the potential charge is. Mum shook the match and a thick end of smoke poured from its burnt tip. Breaking the Official Secrets Act, she said. I felt my knees tremble under me, like at the moment, if I managed to breathe in all the air in the room in one big gulp, it wouldn't be enough. That crazy image crashed back. Dad was in a cell with bars on the door. Hannah gave a snort. What's that? The 1940s? She chewed on her black polish on her fingernails. I leaned on the edge of the table. But he's not done anything wrong, I mumbled. We know that, love. Mum's words were like raindrops running fast down a window, merging together. But there's nothing to worry about, okay? We'll have breakfast, and then I'll drive back to the solicitor's office so I can try and find out more about what's going on. I've already arranged my shifts at the hospital. You should get some sleep, Mother, said Hannah. You've been up all night, or didn't you realise? I wanted so badly to see Dad. I wanted so badly to tell Mum and Hannah about the envelope and the scratched eye, the clue in the bucket. Mother filled the kettle and put it on to boil, but Dad had told me to keep it a secret. Was it true what he'd said? Was it really so dangerous to tell Mother or Hannah anything? I carefully got some china plates from the Welsh dresser and the butter knife with the ivy handle. I put coffee in the coronation cup Mum liked the best, despite the crack running through King George VI said. We should be able to go and see him, Hannah scowled. She shoved on her black cardigan and pulled up one of the sleeves with a thread of wool was unravelling. Talk about screwed up human rights. How long can they keep him for, I said. Hannah frowned. Without actually charging him, 96 hours. The kettle screamed. Steam poured from its spout. Yes, that's what Mr. Edwards told me, said Mum, turning off the gas ring. We're not allowed any contact before then. She got the milk out. MMX11, spelled the fridge magnets. MC, MXL. It was a game Dad and I played all the time, making up Roman numerals for each other to work out. We pretty much wrote in Roman numerals rather than actual numbers. Mum and Hannah. It drove Mum and Hannah mad. Looking at the magnets made the clue pop into my head. Fine, Sturm, V-O. And the V straight away made me think of the number 5. But there wasn't a Roman numeral of 0, so it couldn't be that. Welcome to democracy. Hannah splashed milk into a mug and plonked a carton on the table. She slapped at the lukewarm radiator. When are we getting the heating sorted? Nothing in this hovel works properly. Shut up, Hannah, I thought. Getting annoyed about the house was the last thing we needed right now. But I was so happy in Aunt Hilda's house as a kid. Dad had said in reply to Hannah's temper about moving, and while he had flowery ideas about his childhood, Mum was thinking mortgage-free, and I was thinking I could get the bus with Josh and Sasha every morning because they both live in the next village. But Hannah was thinking what was wrong with our little terrace in town near her boyfriend Gavin's. Hannah must have realised how she was behaving because she didn't shut up and gave Mum a long hug. She did shut up and gave Mum a long hug, then knelt and rubbed Bones' heads. She might get into moods a lot, but she wasn't that dense.